Welcome to the Family History Guide, Researching Records in Australia, Goal 1, Research and Records. This goal will teach you step by step about the records you need to help you find your Australian ancestors and relatives. Genealogical research is a mixture of history, geography, linguistics, or the study of languages, and paleography, or the study of handwriting. A people without the knowledge of their history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots. Now, some history. Aboriginal Australians are believed to have first arrived on the Australian mainland by sea from maritime Southeast Asia between 40,000 and 70,000 years ago. The first European discovery of Australia, in about 1606, is attributed to Dutch navigator Wilhelm Johnsoon Bale in the ship Duifken. On the 22nd of August, 1770, the British explorer Captain James Cook claimed the east coast of Australia for Great Britain. In 1788, the first British fleet was sent to New South Wales. The original British settlements began in 1788 by convicts, transported people who were convicted of crimes in Great Britain, and others. Between 1788 and 1792, about 3,546 male and 766 female convicts were landed at Sydney. In total, between 1788 and 1868, approximately 161,700 convicts, of whom 25,000 were women, were transported to the Australian colonies of New South Wales, Van Diemen's Land, and Western Australia. On the 16th of February, 1793, the first free settlers arrived, and in 1839, Adelaide, South Australia, was established as a free colony without convicts. In 1834, the South Australia Act prohibited the transportation of convicts, and in Great Britain, local councils and poor law boards were given money by the government to help them to organize schemes that allowed the poorest to emigrate. There were also many schemes that took young criminals away from their homes and families and set them up in new lives in Canada or Australia. On February 12, 1851, a prospector discovered flecks of gold in a waterhole near Bathurst, New South Wales, Australia, and started a worldwide gold rush. One gold nugget from Hill End, New South Wales, discovered in 1872, weighed 630 pounds and would be worth about $13,375,260 at current gold prices. By 1880, 90% of the people in Australia were British and Irish born. The first parliament in Australia was opened in 1901. Australia was one of the founding members of the Commonwealth of Nations, consisting of 54 sovereign states. The Commonwealth of Australia is a federation of 6 states and 2 self-governing territories. The national government is the Australian government, also referred to as the federal government or Commonwealth government. To begin research, there are certain things that we need to know about a person before we begin researching in another country. We need to know the name of the ancestor or relative. It also helps to have the way the name was written in the target country. We also need to have the date of some event in the ancestor's life in Australia. Most importantly, we need to know the place where the ancestor lived down to the county, town, and parish level. It is also important to know your ancestor's religion. Knowing the ancestor's religion is important because many valuable records were recorded by the churches. In Australia, we look for whether they were Anglican, Protestant, or some other denomination. Without knowing your ancestors' religion, you will be forced to search in multiple record collections, even if you know the name and dates you're looking for. Without knowing a location, it is as if you were rowing out into the middle of a lake in a small boat with a gun and begin shooting in the water hoping to hit a specific fish. You may end up hitting a fish, but it is unlikely you'll hit the right one. The links in the Family History Guide will provide you with valuable information about how to find your ancestors in Australia. Study the choices in this goal to develop your research skills.